We created the ACT Aspire Escape Room at Carver in order to, of course, help our kids prepare for the ACT Aspire test. We've been practicing a little bit the past couple of weeks, but I've noticed that the kids, anytime I say ACT Aspire practice, they're like, and they're just getting tired of getting, having to practice and get ready for that. So we wanted to create something that would be fun, but still allow the kids to prepare for this important test that they're going to take next week. So we came up with this idea of creating an escape room here at Carver. About a month ago, we started planning for this and coming up with questions and coming up with ideas and clues and figuring out how we're going to work this out. Several people were on the team that helped come up with questions and kind of helped come up with this idea, and this is the week that we've implemented it. It's been very successful. The kids have been really excited about doing ACT Aspire practice, but they think they're just having fun answering questions and finding keys and opening locks, but in reality they go through a series of 16 questions that where they practice English, math, reading, and science, and they're practicing questions that will be very similar to what they have to do on the actual ACT Aspire exam. So we've had a lot of fun this week. The kids have done a great job, and I've had fun facilitating that here in this classroom. It didn't take a whole lot of work really to get things ready. I mean, just a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours of time decorating, a little bit of time, planning for everything. I guess the hardest part of this was initially figuring out kind of how we're going to connect everything as far as the clues go, and figuring out the logistics of how to actually make this happen. But this is something that we created. It's not something that we purchased from any place. But it's been a lot of fun. The kids have enjoyed it. In fact, most of them, when they walk out the door, they're saying, "Mr. Crater, can we do this next year?" So they're already wanting to do this again, when just a week ago they were all like, "I've got to do ACT Aspire practice." This has made it fun for them and is helping them prepare and practice for the test in an exciting way, and one where hopefully they'll be successful. We've given them all dog tags, and on the dog tags they say, "I aspire to do my best on the ACT Aspire test," and they're wearing those around school, and they're going to be wearing them during the test, and I've told them that it's very important that when they encounter any problems or difficulties on the test that they grab a hold of that necklace, that dog tag, and hopefully it will give them some inspiration that they can do this, they can be successful. They were successful last week answering 16 difficult questions. They can answer these questions that are popping up on the computer screen. Welcome to the Carver Escape Room. Are you guys excited?
Yes!
Do you know what's going to happen?
No!
Let me explain. I have 4 boxes. And each one of these boxes is locked.
Is it locked?
And they're locked with different locks that require you to have different keys. And there are 4 keys that are hidden somewhere in this classroom. And in order to find those keys, you need to get a clue. And in order to get a clue, you have to answer some questions correctly. We're going to start with some reading questions. There are 4 questions in here. If you answer all of these questions correctly, then you will get clue number 1. Clue number 1 will lead you to the first key. When you get the first key, then you will try to open one of these locks. When you open the lock, there will be more questions inside for you to answer. Once you answer all the questions, and you answer all the locks, you will escape, and you will find in the last box there will be a prize for you.
I think you said this.
So, are you ready to play the Carver Escape Room?
Yes!
You are going to be given 45 minutes to escape. If you escape before 45 minutes, you win the prize. If you don't get a prize. And here's a bonus. The team at Carver that escapes the quickest will win a special big prize, and you will find out about that next week. So you want to work well with each other, and you want to work quickly. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Let the fun begin! So normally my room isn't decorated like this, but I definitely found out this week that it adds an air of excitement to what we're doing for the kids to come in and see something different. And so I want to incorporate this on a semi-regular basis actually in here in my classroom, because I think it will help just kids being excited about whatever we're working on. But I've decorated this in green. I just bought some streamers and some balloons at Party City, and really the cost for this was pretty inexpensive. Probably spent less than $30 on all of this, and there were some things that I had here at school and some things that I borrowed from other people. But for the most part, this was pretty inexpensive lesson to create. When the kids come in, of course, they have to walk through these streamers, and we pretend like it's sort of like laser tag, where you can't hit the streamers or you'll get electrocuted or shocked, and the balloons you don't want to touch because they'll blow up. So they have a lot of fun just kind of initially as they enter the room, kind of sneaking up here to the front and having a fun time. So just going through this labyrinth of streamers, they have a lot of fun just snaking through them and getting to the front. And once they get to the front, there are 4 boxes that are locked. And they find out as soon as they get in here that their goal is to find the 4 keys that are hidden in this room somewhere. And in order to find a key, they must receive a clue. And I have 4 different clues for the 4 different keys that are hidden in the room. And in order to get a clue, they have to answer 4 ACT Aspire questions. And so as soon as they come in, they're going to be given 45 minutes on the clock. I explained to them that they have 45 minutes to escape. If they escape, they get a small prize. If they're the team that escapes the quickest in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they're going to get a big prize. So that gives them a little motivation to work quickly. They really didn't need that. They were excited about doing that anyway. And then they're given 4 reading questions to do. So there's a passage for them to read, and then 4 questions associated with that passage. Once they answer all of those questions correctly, then they receive the first clue. And clue number 1 will lead them on their hunt to finding the very first key. And I also tell them at the very beginning that if they miss a question, they will have 1 minute added to their final time. So they need to make sure and not answer anything incorrectly, because if they do, that'll hurt their chances of being the team that finishes the quickest. So the first clue says, and another thing too, I created these clues to make them look like the Amazing Race. The Amazing Race clues are like yellow and black, but these are our colors here at Carver are red and black. So I just used a similar font that's on the Amazing Race because they get things like this, and so that's why it looks like this. So on the back it says ACT Aspire Escape Room, Carver Magnet Elementary. And clue number 1, 12 of these make a dozen. Find them all and you will have the clues you need to discover the next key. So there are 12 eggs hidden around the room, escape eggs hidden around the room. And once they find all 12, and if they open them up, which they all do, they'll find 12 words inside there. And they have to put these 12 words together to form a phrase, and the phrase that they form will help them find the very first key. And so the phrase that they need to create is, I keep you dry when it's raining, but today hold the key. And that's a challenging and a little tricky part for them to get all the words together and figure it out. But as soon as they figure out, oh, when it's raining, I keep you dry, they start thinking, okay, is there a rain jacket? Is there, what is it? And then usually a light bulb pops off in their head. Oh, it's an umbrella. And they run over the corner, they grab the umbrella. Inside the umbrella, they find a key.
Open it! Open it! Watch out! Move out the way! Everybody move out the way. I don't even know how to open this thing. Watch out. There it is. I can't open it. I got it. Which one does it go to though?
Our second clue states, I, E-Y-E, see you. Find me and my friends and we'll help you see the key. Well, I have a huge eyeball that I put up in my room about a month ago over the sink. It's behind the camera. And I did that knowing that I created this clue, and I wanted them to just think it was something normal in the room that I was putting up and not something out of the ordinary when they walked in here. So with this clue, they go to the big eye, they look inside the sink, and inside the sink there are a bunch of little miniature eyeballs floating in a sea of red dye-colored water. And inside the water there's a rock that's holding down one of these magnetic key holders, and it's holding it in the bottom. So they have to take the rock off of it. The magnetic key holder pops up to the top. They grab it, of course, and then they know, oh, there's a key inside. So they open that one up, and then they go up in the second box. And then after they answer that set of questions, they get the third clue. The third clue states, the dead man in the room can't talk, but he will help you find the next key. Also behind the camera, there is a skeleton. Senor Escalado is what we call him here at Carver, and he has a key that's dangling from his rib cage, but it's not out in the open. Senor Escalado's wearing a shirt this week, and so the kids know to go over, and once they read this, they're like, okay, we'll go to the skeleton. They look in the shirt pocket. The key's not in the pocket, and then they decide, oh, we need to unbutton the shirt. So they unbutton the shirt, and they find the key dangling from the rib cage. And then our last clue, states, don't get poked. The key is under me. So that one's kind of like, well, what could it be? So they look through pencils, they look through, different things in here that could poke them, and then eventually someone remembers, oh, there's a cactus in the classroom. So they go to the cactus and they find the keys hidden underneath the pot that the cactus is in. And when they find the final key, they receive the dog tags, and the dog tag says, I have escaped, and I aspire to do my best. And so they all get a dog tag and a necklace, and that's their small prize that they win. We stop the clock, and then I've been keeping up with all the times for all the different groups that have been through this week, and then next week we'll announce the winning group. It's been a great week. We've learned a lot. The kids have had a lot of fun. They've enjoyed it. I think it'll be something that they remember from this year in Science Lab probably as one of the things that they enjoyed most. And I've had a fun time doing this as well.
Tell me about your escape room experience.
It was fun.
Well, what was fun?
Everything.
Well, what was your favorite part?
I liked everything.
Well, what would you like to tell us in more than one word about your escape experience?
That you have to work hard with your team, and y'all all have to work together so y'all can get out in a good time.
Tell me about your escape room experience.
I had fun, and it was really cool.
What was so cool?
Just like the entire idea.
How would you change it to make it better?
Maybe possibly make it outside or some sort of larger area.
Okay, what was your favorite part?
Doing all the math problems.
All right, any advice or things you'd like to tell anyone about the escape room?
It has lots of streamers, and getting electrocuted by them isn't real.
Jedi, tell me about your ACT escape room experience.
I think it's very fun.
What was so fun?
Finding the clues and math.
What would you like to do if you do this again? Something different, maybe?
I think I would like to do it in a larger area, so you can hide more stuff, and it's going to be very harder.
What'd you like about it?
Everything.
Well, what was your favorite part?
Well, when you ask us a question, we have to use teamwork to answer them and to split up and find the keys when we get them right.
Anything else you'd like to say about the escape room?
I appreciate my team, my team, and do your best.
Anaya, tell me about your experience in the escape room.
The escape room was very mysterious
What do you mean?
because we had to answer these riddles to find all the things we need to find to actually escape the room.
What was your favorite part?
Answering all the questions.
What do you think we could do next time to make it better?
Maybe a little more room in a classroom or something.
You have to think about your questions, and you have to work good as a team. You had to have a good team that you had to work with. The answers were in very weird places, but they were in very weird places. But I honestly liked it because how you did math and had fun. And you could find a whole bunch of clues around the classroom. I would say you could have teachers to do it. They probably wouldn't get any keys, but it was fun.
What are you saying? Teachers aren't smart?
Yes.
All right, you get an F. All right, Anthony, tell me about your experience today in the escape room.
Well, the escape room was very, very fun, and I liked it because you had to answer questions, and it wasn't too hard or too easy.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was when we had to answer the riddles to where the keys were.
What's something that we could do different next time to make it even better?
Maybe next time you could put it in a dark room, because I feel like it was too out in the open.
Do your best.